Wow, living in this shit, it's always great.
Well, look at the athletes, though. You still look at King. Go, you been to King Cash? You seen them kids?
I know what kind of kids.
But you saying that, but they here.
She live in Fort Lauderdale and I'm closer to South Beach. I told her to come over, she said okay, don't fall asleep. She said she can be my housewife and keep my house clean. I say shut the fuck up, put this dick back in your mouth please. I don't see nothing wrong with some out in lip service. Tunchy in this bitch, I'm tighter than a pinch nerve bitch. I didn't answer my phone, I said I couldn't get service. My new Nina just told me that she's sick of being a virgin. Bagging up the work for her hour, fingers hurting. Let my bitches help before they leave, I check their purses. Sorry for the wait, the confusion, the disturbance. Got me moving weight, prostitution and these verses. Whipping in the kitchen, in the trap house with my shirt off. I'ma get these millions and I put that on my firstborn. Got that old juvie bumping, talking about the third wall. The DA was a dick and the judge was a jerk off. Body curving like a curveball. Let her drink too much, now her pussy tastes like Smirnoff. Sleeping on chinchilla, boy, I'm cozy like a fur ball. Fuck the other side, nigga, we could have a turf wall. Sorry for the wait, had to trap this part 2 and shit. Just to let you know that a nigga still doing it. Working like a slave on my roots, part 2 shit. Got to let you know that little Tunchi still Tunchi, bitch. Pop, pop, pop. Fuck on me wrong, get the hammer. Thank God I'm home from the slammer. Was gone for the hammer. Stomped in the yard like a gamma. Niggas was gone bananas. I'm calm like a camel. I'm smoking that strong like a camel. I bet my life when we gamble. Y'all can't be kids. We should be going pianos.
Welcome to another episode of Everybody Hates Sleep. I'm your host, Mike Maxwell.
What's wrong with that motherfucker?
Shout out my nigga Lil Wayne.
That nigga look
Got a goon named Fernando at the front door of your condo. Knock, knock, who's there? He don't care, he's psycho. Bad bitch with a nice throat, she ice cold and she like hoes. Oh, she just my type, these other hoes just typos.
He was the
Alright, you gotta listen.
No. This motherfucker was like, and people was like, the fuck is he talking about? He wasn't even making words, bro.
Yeah, poor Lil Wayne, man.
He wasn't even making words.
That Carter 5
He done
not
took
dropping
so
when
much
it's
of that
supposed
lean
to.
that his ass is dead now. He is dead. That motherfucker look dead. He look like he's about 60.
I think that Carter 5 not dropping has a lot to do with that too.
I don't know.
I think
I don't know.
I think that is too.
If
because not dropping the Carter 5 made him go back to that lean shit because he was off of it for a minute.
So he lean rapping right now?
so
I mean, he's lean using. I don't know if he's rapping. I ain't heard much from him.
I ain't either.
That's some weak shit. The fact that you can't put an album out when you got all these other ways of putting out music and making music.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta put an album out. You can,
I know. All that
you
shit
can rap
last
over some
year.
other beats, other people's beats, and say it's a mixtape,
Hey, and the crazy part about that
and
is
still make money.
he's the motherfucker that perfected that shit. That whole mixtape lane started because of him. He was
you
the
don't
one
wanna
that would
go back
take.
to it?
I don't know. Like I don't understand why motherfuckers don't like going back to their roots.
Because they control. That's why. They're not only control. They want you to think that shit is fucked up for their ass, so they can keep. This world is basically everything you see on social media, television. It's designed to keep you in a certain mindset, and that mindset is the '60s. Just people still have the same mindset from the '60s: marching, protesting,
Shit,
voting.
They was fucking shit up in the 60s.
Yeah.
That's when all the riots was going down.
Yeah, you don't see nobody rioting. All you see is protesting. All you see is millions of motherfuckers walking in the streets. You know why? Because you got white people doing it. They ain't what they got to riot about.
Equal rights.
Who?
Me Too movement, rather.
Who?
Is it the Me Too movement?
Who? What Me Too? What?
The women.
Yeah.
It's the women, black and
White
white
women.
Both of them.
Black women only join in because they the battery. They don't even know they being used. Because in the black community,
that's the worst
black
part
women
about
ain't never
that
had
shit.
that Me Too problem. They Me Too is a cast iron skillet nigga. Fuck with me if you want to. Catch the bad end of it. Ask Al Green.
Say
Like,
that's Bill
seriously.
Cosby with that shit.
Seriously, the whole women's movement, that shit wouldn't have a pulse without black women.
Nothing would happen without a pulse without black people. We are the pulse.
You know what I'm saying?
We are the battery.
Which I'm trying to get people to see that, okay, you want to use history, you can use their fucking history. And if you look back on it historically, before we are interjected in they shit, it's trash. It is fucking trash.
Because here's the part you don't understand. We all have been interjected in their shit. There's never been a time when we weren't interjected in their shit.
Yeah, it was.
No.
No,
No,
they've been stealing our shit and putting their face on it for a minute.
Oh, I
There's
thought
never
you
been a
said,
time.
you said never.
Since the
Never
beginning
saying
of
that
time.
we was never in control.
No.
Just say never.
There's never been a time. See, first of all, you have to understand, look at life like this. The white man is a warmonger. And whenever he has come around, he has created war wherever he went. In order, war or chaos, in order for him to wipe out the indigenous folk and take it over.
And bring in
his programming.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Okay? Once you understand that, then you know, oh, these motherfuckers, they can't be trusted.
Didn't you put me up on Dan Calloway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was about maybe a year ago. And I've been following his shit ever since.
He really, see the thing about, let me just say this about white people.
You put them all in one boat on this right here?
No. Well, yeah, what I'm about to say is gonna put them all in one boat.
All of them.
All over the world.
Because it's bigger than just the United States. That's
All
what I'm
over
saying.
the
When you say
world.
that, you
Everything
gotta
about
have
this-
it.
what I'm about to say, I'm gonna put them all in that same boat. Imagine you in being a cosmic dream, and you the star of the dream, but the person that's having the dream don't like the star, don't want the star to shine. So he has to bring somebody in the dream to keep the shine dull. See what I'm saying? Okay. Well, who you think that is? That's the white man. The white man is part of the cosmic dream, baby. He's here to do what he does, which is fuck over niggas. That's his whole reason for being on
Not
this earth.
niggas. Don't say niggas. Just say
Black people. Indigenous.
Yeah, because that's
You got this thing about niggas. Nigga, let me just say this about that whole word.
it's a word.
It's a word, but it's a word that comes from other words. They're in
I know it means king and God.
No, I'm gonna even take it back further than that. In different spiritual systems, different African spiritual systems, that word nig exists. Like in
Niggas are like Spanish, right?
well, that's where it comes from. Negro, meaning black. Right. Okay. So if negro means black, then how does nigga mean ignorant? They just associating black with ignorance. That's all they doing. But just to flip it on another side, who's the biggest proponent of you not saying nigga these days? You or the white man? The white man. Why? Why does that bother him so much when he called you nigga for 400 years? Why is it bothering him now?
No.
You saying it bothers the white man?
Yeah, who you think came up with that idea? You think the NAACP came up with that idea? They was told what to do.
Because they
They
work.
run by Jews. They always have
Yeah.
been. They was created by Jews.
Fucking Jews. I don't want to start talking about them bastards.
You ain't got to talk about the Jews. Shit, the motherfuckers that put that shit together might be Jews.
It is.
The motherfuckers that you got the sponsorship might be Jews. So you ain't got to talk about them.
That's true.
That's a whole different conversation we'll have another day.
But yeah,
Because
stole.
only we see them as separate. Oh, they're Italian. They see themselves like that, but they don't deal with each other like that. Not when it comes to you. Now, privately, yes, they deal with each other like that. But when it comes to you, collectively, we all don't fuck with you.
But
And
some
it's
whites
because-
don't fuck with Jews. Some
But
whites
see-
don't like Jews.
But what he's
they
saying
know
is-
about Jews. They know.
Yeah,
who
they know.
Jews
Yeah,
are.
like I don't fuck with them Jews. I done heard white boys say "fuck them Jews" like all the time. So it ain't like they don't know what a Jew, or even to say you
They
Jew.
know what Jew. They know what a Jew is.
Yeah.
They know the Jews are the people who run the money,
Straight up.
and that's why they say that. But Jews only want people to believe that they are the chosen people because they take somebody else's identity.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. But here's the thing, though. You know it. I know it. But we only 3 motherfuckers out of 30
Oh, some
million.
people know it. The Jews know it.
Yeah. Are they
They
promoting
know
it?
it.
But
They'll
No,
never-
hell no. They trying to still play that game like they're the chosen ones.
yeah, they got a role to play.
There you go.
They got
So,
a role to play. So
if you understand that this is all a big cosmic dream, and the white man plays this role in the cosmic dream, then if you don't pay attention to his ass, is he even in the dream anymore?
I don't pay attention to them. That's why
Sure.
niggas be.
I'll put it
I
to
don't
you
pay
like
attention
this.
to them.
that's true.
I'll put it to you. I'll put it to you like this. Have you seen that commercial, the new iPhone commercial, where you can take a picture and blur out the background?
Yeah.
You seen that?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine that with the white man. Imagine you blurring out the background and he don't exist in the background no more.
I'm already imagining it.
So
I'm not threatened by the white man.
So my point
I
is,
use the white
my
man.
point is, the white man is like a beautiful woman. Everybody's always paid attention to him. So if you ain't paying attention to him and he fades into the background, that would piss him off.
He's very
I've
fake.
always been the attention.
Yeah.
Me.
So how do I get your attention, nigga? So that's why you see this rise in racism, because it's a time. We are in the time now on the earth where the white man's shit is up. His time is up.
The jig is up.
His time is up.
The jig is up.
His time is up. All that 6,000 year, the devil said, can I have this, whatever, however you believe it, time is up.
The jig is up.
Time is up. And so now,
What are we gonna do though?
well, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter of what we're going to do. Here's the thing. We're looking at a microcosm of the macrocosm. Look at Donald Trump. He acts like a petulant child, right? Well, that's what fucking white people are doing too. They're acting like fucking petulant
That's
children.
the real true image of America.
So the problem, what I'm saying to you is, they're not going to go away without a fight. And we ain't doing shit to them.
What they gonna say? We'll blow this whole motherfucker up.
They will, though.
Go.
They
But
will.
that
We'll
is
still
part.
survive.
See, here's the
The only
thing.
thing, we'll still
That's a
survive.
part of the cosmic dream. They're not gonna go away without a fight. So if they blow the whole world up, guess who don't exist no more?
Them.
Them.
But they don't
So
understand.
it's a
They
catch-22.
gonna go to the moon.
Ain't nothing up
ain't
there.
going
There ain't no
nowhere.
moon for them to go to.
These
Ain't no
motherfuckers
moon
can't,
for them to go to. That's
these
just an illusion.
motherfuckers can't even stand in the sunlight without bubbling, pussing up. How the fuck they gonna go to Mars and the moon?
Ain't no moon for them
Fuck
to go
outta
to.
here, man.
That's just an illusion, bro. That shit don't exist. That's just an
I was
illusion.
telling
They
my little
barely
white
getting by on this
female friend, I'm
motherfucker.
like, the sun don't even like y'all.
That's the sun. The sun is. Now this is some deep shit.
I think it's a magnifying
The
glass.
sun is basically what the God is. People that worship. That's basically all they do is worshiping the sun. That's who the sun is.
What do you mean?
The idea of having some supreme being looking down on all humanity
It's the
as the
sun.
one. It's the sun. It's the sun. See,
We
here's
really
the
can't
thing.
live without it though.
Here's the thing.
I don't think we can
All-
live without it though. You can go underground.
Because we've been given the Bible as history and not mythology, we believe that these characters actually existed.
John, Peter, Paul, and them.
And
motherfuckers ain't never
it's
existed.
mythology, but was given to us as history.
Yeah.
No other
With
group
no
of
dates
people.
in it. There's no dates in the Bible,
There's no
right?
dates and no history, no mythology books.
Hey, and it's funny you say that, Pop, about the Bible, because I've been getting, like, the universe have been sending me shit to go back and read the Bible. But I don't have the same eyes that I had before. And then I seen something.
What do you mean by that? Say by it. What do you mean? As far as perspective.
Yeah, as far as perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't look at it as gospel. I don't look at it as
you'll get more out of it then.
As ritual. I look at it as more like you were saying, mythology.
Yeah, it is mythology. The Bible is a book telling you about the rise of the soul of the black man. That's what the Bible is a book.
From Egypt?
No, I'm talking about the literal soul. The soul is a seed inside the very bottom of your ass. And that's the deepest concentration of your melanin is at. The melanin that goes through your central nervous system and runs through your blood. Okay, that's where the deepest concentration is at. And when it rises like this. Now, what does that look like to you? It looks like DNA spiral. That's the rise of your energy, the Kundalini energy. And if you know how to control it and rise it to your pineal gland, that's the true enlightenment.
How you get there?
How do you rise it?
Yeah.
It rises every night when you sleep, because melanin is sleep. It comes up anyway. When you get tired, that's it rising. That's it rising.
Because it's too much.
No, it's a natural occurrence. That part of the Kundalini, see, Kundalini has more than one function. Because melanin matches it. Melanin is basically matter. But it's matter
We
inside
talked about
us.
that earlier today, right?
There's matter that's outside of us, then there's matter that's inside of us. But they're the same.
Yeah, you learn that in chemistry.
They're the same matter.
Both matter is
And antimatter. They call it matter and antimatter.
Antimatter, right.
Right.
I remember that.
But guess who's the antimatter?
Humans is antimatter?
You know why you anti? Because you go directly against them. Your energy is against their energy. Everything they say is anti is about you. You.
All that hypermasculinity and all that.
That's all. Listen, man.
All that other bullshit.
What we are going through right
And
now.
we don't
in this
even have
world-
to come off as they just
No, they already. It's two different kinds of energies that we're talking about here. You ever shook the hand of a white man? His hand is cold,
like
sweaty.
he dead.
like he's dead,
Yeah.
because basically he is. He doesn't have in him what you have in you. The reason why melatonin exists is so that they can sleep and not have nightmares at night. Because we go to their ass at night, and nightmares and scare the shit out of them. See, we are everything. Everything that exists in the universe exists in us.
And they know that.
And that's...
and we don't even want to try to know it. And if you talk about it, you crazy.
But they know that though.
I know they know.
Like they
But that's
know.
their advantage, the fact
They
that
know.
they know and we don't. That's their advantage. That and the fact that they've been still fearing us. Fear is a part of our DNA now. They've done so much to us, shit. And here's how you know it manifests in us. When something fucked up happened, the first thing we think about, I sure don't want that to happen to my.
Oh, we sure wouldn't want
I want that to happen to my
Or if it
child.
happened, right? Or
I sure
or
hope
what
that
color
happened.
was it when they did it? And what crazy shit did they do?
This is all part of the DNA that's in our the fear DNA.
And I don't want and I don't want to sound crazy when I say this, but when stuff like that happens, and the people that has been, that person has been killed, and they get so forgiving.
Who's they? Oh, that's religion.
I want to forgive.
That's religion.
And pray for the person that killed my family member.
That shit worked good then.
That's that Willie Lynch bullshit.
How?
That's that Willie Lynch bullshit.
How
Because we
can you
was
be
bred
so
like that.
forgiving?
We was bred. See, we don't understand the science that they used on us in slavery. We just think that they was a bunch of barbarians and they made us pick cotton. The motherfuckers had breeding farms for niggas. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they
Just like
that
just like they had breeding farms for dogs and animals,
Yeah.
they had breeding farms for us.
A gentleman my size would be in a shed somewhere with a collar on my neck. I wouldn't know how to talk. The only thing I would know how to do is eat and fuck.
produce,
Yeah.
produce.
There is a movie called
fuck.
Uncle Tom's Cabin. I think is that the
Classic.
Is that
where a dude comes in and he sees the story of a slave plantation and how they do it? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like an Italian movie, like a spaghetti western.
Yeah,
yeah.
That shit is dope, and it's real. I believe in how they.
Yeah, that's a movie about how they bred niggas. They got a scene in that movie where they show all these boys in this one room. It's about 10 boys, and they all look like gay boys. They got earrings, they got eyeliners, they all just, and they was bred to be that way.
Because he can't control all of that.
It's not a matter of what they. There's no cause to it. But here's the thing. America, just the continent of America, and how it was developed. It was a plan. It was a plan to see if we could make a country based upon laws.
Mm-hmm.
But the European left Europe because they didn't like their laws.
No, that's not right.
No.
That's the story they give you. No.
All them Irish came over here.
The Irish,
they was forced over here. Like,
no.
You just saying they came over here to have a better life?
Yeah. The first groups of them, yeah. Here's the thing.
They were slaves
On
too,
their
over
side, they were coming to have a better life. But the people who was soliciting them and bringing them over here was bringing them over here so that they could be on top of the niggas who was starting to rise up.
Mm-hmm.
Economically.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to keep in mind, during that time, that migration of white people, there was no slavery. This was after slavery.
Yeah.
This was after Jim Crow.
Yeah. So this is during segregation.
This is during the time when
Irish
the Irish and Italians and all them motherfuckers came over here.
This is during segregation.
This is during
No,
like
they
the
were
early
coming over.
1900s.
They
Like
came
the
over with the
1900s,
same
1910, 1920. Those times.
30s,
The late 1800s,
like the First
1890s.
World War.
Yeah, those people.
Which-
those group of people who came after
Mm-hmm.
who came after the country was developed and the slaves were let go. Okay? The Emancipation Proclamation, that was like 1840,
It was some white
1865.
slaves.
1865. Just a whole lot. It was a whole era of white slavery. I just read this shit.
Yeah.
Red Pill put
That's
this
what
on.
I'm saying.
It's a whole era of white slavery. Who gives a shit?
No, I'm just saying, you saying that blacks was the first one here being slaves. I'm like, no, there was some white slaves here too.
Okay, let me just give you this whole thing about slavery. When this world was created, the God that created, and it's in the Bible, he created this world to be worshipped. That's a form of slavery.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when he created this world, he created man. He created that man and said, I'm the only God and there's no God above me. But if he had to just did like that, he would have seen there was gods above him. But he didn't. That's why he was created like that. He created this world like that, to be the only God. And then he took a bunch of other gods and put them on planets, fucked them up, and then went back and apologized and said, okay, we can all be a team. I'm the leader. This is the whole idea of the devil and his imps. It's just a different story told in a different manner. That's all. That's what mythology is. That's why the Bible is mythology, bro. It's mythology. It's not history. It's
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Okay, so now
I know it was gods before God.
So if
I would say it was
if
God.
the God
before
that
God.
created, which is the Son,
Zeus and
and he
all
was
that.
called Yaldabaoth, this is Gnostic shit. This is all in the Gnostic text. Just find this book called the Nag Hammadi Library. The Nag Hammadi Library. The Nag Hammadi Library is some scriptures that they found in 1940 sometime, somewhere in 45, right after the Second World War, during that time. They found them in Egypt. These Gnostics had before Constantine was killing off the motherfuckers, because when they created the Bible, the Gnostics got wind of this shit and was like, wait, what the fuck is this shit? We already got somebody. No, this sounds like our shit. Rewrote. So Constantine said, that can't happen, because he had created that so that he could rule over people. So if another group of people was around saying, wait a minute, this is our shit already.
This is bullshit.
This is bullshit. How is he going to get
Everybody
anybody else to believe it? So he had to kill them all. But before he killed them off, somebody hid the scriptures. Then they
They
came
found
back.
something.
Well, this is all prophecy. You know what I'm saying? This is things. It's things that exist in this world that are greater than man. It's forces that exist in this world that are greater than man. You see that with tornadoes coming and storms and this, that, and that. The white man can create the weather, but he can't control the weather.
No.
And those elements are connected to us. We are the connection to the elements, to the earth, wind, and fire. We had a damn record group called Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And speaking of connections, let's talk about women for a minute.
Oh, my favorite subject. My sisters, I love them to death. I love them to death. You know what the greatest problem with our sisters? And I'm not even going to say our sisters. I'm going to say this is a human thing. Taking a true look at yourself. Because a sister can be in a situation where she got 3 kids by 3 different niggas. And ain't none of them niggas shit. But the one thing that all these niggas got in common is your pussy. So they may not be shit too, but the one thing they got in common is your pussy. So what does that say about your pussy? Or what you do with it? Or who you give it?
That sound like accountability.
See what I'm saying? That's the one thing that they don't do. They don't stop and say, maybe I shouldn't have gave my pussy to them 3 fucked up ass niggas. And now I got these 3 kids that look like them 3 fucked up ass niggas that I don't even like. Because they look just like them old fucked up ass niggas. Is that my fault? The nigga's fault? The kid's fault? Whose fault is that? If there's some fault to be handed out.
Yeah.
But if you're dealing with people, ain't no fault. Ain't no fault. You did what you did. You just have to deal with the consequences of it.
It's more
Fault
consequences.
is saying, if you start looking at fault, then you start, once again, you ain't looking at yourself.
You gotta look at yourself.
You gotta look at yourself. You looking for somewhere to blame, you start talking about fault.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, this is one thing that our sisters don't do until they get to a certain age. And even then, I don't even know if it's a matter of looking at themselves or looking at the situation and saying, well, at this point, I should have.
Mm-hmm.
Not what I created, but what I should have.
Mm-hmm.
I should have a man. I should be married. I should, you know what I'm saying? Just these societal things that they tell you should have and do. When you see for yourself that these societal things are failing on a mass level.
Right.
So what I'm about to say is I don't even think it's a woman thing. I think this is a human thing, not having the ability to change, recognize shit and change. You know what I mean? And that's
Which goes back to accountability.
well, maybe. I don't know if change comes from accountability.
Yeah.
It can. It can. You can hold yourself accountable and go right out and do the same stupid shit. Right? Yeah, so
That's true.
it's a maturity, it's a combination. It's a combination, you know, because life is like a pot of stew. It ain't just one thing that's in that stew. It ain't just the water. It ain't just the meat. It ain't just the carrots. It's the combination of all that shit. Ain't that? It's the combination of all that shit that makes it a stew. That makes the stew good. So if you got too much salt in it, then the stew ain't gonna be good.
So look, Pop, I was raised to, I guess you could say, open doors and things of that nature. But I find myself not wanting to do that because I don't deem a lot of these women worthy. But then I don't want that to be like...
But that's because you're giving the power to them.
And I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
If that's in me, then I'm going to just go ahead and do it.
You opening the door, what's the reason for doing it? Because you was raised that way or because you trying to holler at this woman you open the door?
No, it ain't necessarily. Because I think got this thing about rejection. That's why I don't necessarily talk to women when I go out. Because I got this thing like if I speak and a motherfucker don't speak back, it's kind of like a pet peeve of mine. Like,
Okay, yeah, well, you was raised like that, but we in a different time.
Right.
You exposed to people who weren't raised like you. So you can't look at, and we look, a lot of our problem as black people, we look at situations, especially when you're dealing with somebody that ain't black. How come they don't think like that? What was going on in their mind? Because we think like a certain way, and we react like a certain way. So we think the whole world should be doing that because our dealings with each other are limited. We deal with each other. We don't deal outside of our environment.
Right.
Unless you go outside your environment and have to deal, then you'll understand that they have different sensibilities. But when we deal here, we expect everything to be just like this is here. Right. If that's all you ever had, how you gonna think there's something different? This is it.
That's true.
When you walk out that door, you still here.
And that goes back to being a human thing. That what you just said is a human thing. Because if all you know is if it's your environment, then that's all you're gonna expect.
Traditions are breaking down. Every day you see traditions are breaking down. Opening the door for a woman is a tradition.
Right.
Okay? Well, if traditions are breaking down, that's not part of it.
That's true.
So if you open the door for a woman and she don't say nothing, did you do it to give thanks or did you do it because that's how you are? You have to really look at this shit like, am I doing it to get the thanks? Or am I doing it because this is just who I am?
More of a B than A.
Then it is what it is. Then if you don't get no thanks, why does it matter?
That's true.
This is how we separate ourselves. We have to separate ourselves from these emotional triggers. We have these things that trigger us emotionally that be so minute like that. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you open the door for somebody and they don't say something, so and
Rendezvous is
how about this? Why don't you just open the door and walk through the motherfucker? You ain't gotta look right.
Especially as a ref, though, you got like a lot of shit going.
Refereeing teaches you a lot about humanity and how to be able to not emotionally react to it.
I'm dead to that shit.
That is asking. That's asking a human a lot to take their emotions out of not necessarily their job.
Because white people don't have the same emotional connections to life. They're more emotionally connected to things. You know what I'm saying? Losing things. Like, for instance, I'll give you a perfect thing. They refuse to lose their guns.
Oh no, that's what the Second Amendment was about.
They are not getting them guns out the head. Every time you see one of these mass shootings, that law about the Second Amendment comes up. That conversation about that comes up. So then you understand that if it keeps coming up, then somebody keeps bringing it up.
Right.
How else would you bring it up? You ain't gonna bring it up in a regular conversation. How about we go shoot a gang of motherfuckers? Who better to shoot than some brown Muslims? Because the motherfuckers ain't gonna do shit but pray. And where they get shot at? Where they was praying.
At their damn church.
It tells you that religion shit don't mean a goddamn thing. It don't mean shit. It don't mean
your
shit.
Ass at your church. That shit crazy.
If that shit meant something,
And you'll still go there.
yeah, because I tell you earlier about the core. Once they get the core, they can go shit on the motherfucking preacher up in that motherfucker. I mean, shit. They ain't there because of that.
But we had a good conversation in pre-production about the independent woman syndrome.
Ugh.
And I don't remember.
Even if you, I wouldn't even call it a syndrome.
Well, that's what they deem it.
Who is that?
Like the APA and
Bunch of fucking crackers.
Yeah, the different. There's a couple black psychologists that ascribe to this.
Let me ask you this about the black psychologists. What do they study under? Did they study under Jung psychology? Did they study under Sigmund Freud? You see what I'm saying? It's different kinds of psychology because our psyche is not the same as their psyche. How could it be? They don't experience somebody standing on corners and selling dope.
Right.
They never experienced that. They never experienced their grandmothers having to walk by these motherfuckers here drunk. Sitting out here, or a gang of motherfuckers sitting up under a tree, whistling at some 17-year-old. You know what I'm saying? They don't experience that. So how can their psyche be the same? So how can you go to a psychiatrist who only study under people who study that type of shit for them? How is he going to be able to relate to you?
They go to school and read so many
See,
cases.
here's the thing. For them, they go to psychology so they can feel. Because they feel dead. We go to psychology because we feel too much.
And it's getting over fucking whelming.
See what I'm saying? So how can you go to one that doesn't understand that you feel too much when his whole thing is to bring out feelings? How's he gonna help you? He can't help you. So I say that to say this about those black psychologists. What did they study? Are they studying psychology so that they can see a bunch of white people? Are they studying psychology so they can see a bunch of black people? You know what I'm saying? Good. Psychologists, good. They go to school. Good for them. They're doctors. Good for them. But I'm not impressed by that. See, that's another thing about our problems. We see those achievements as something to be impressed by. Come on, man. You want to impress me? I'll tell you how to impress me. Go in that motherfucking White House and smack shit out of Donald Trump. I'm impressed. Some shit ain't nobody ever done. Smack the president. I'm impressed. You did some shit I ain't never think a motherfucker do.
That's Obama could be in office at one time.
Even one of them crackers that had smacked him out have been impressed.
He's just saying the whole concept.
The whole concept of smacking the president
is impressive.
Not the person.
Shoot at somebody though, right? Didn't Bush get a shoot thrown at him?
Well,
that was impressive. That was impressive though.
He was over there.
Yeah.
In their country. Because that's their tradition. When you step to them in their politics and you say some shit that they think is bullshit, they take their shoe off and throw it at you. That's their tradition, so that's why that happened. Yeah.
We need that here.
Well, we need way more than that. What I tell you earlier.
We don't have it though.
We don't even question them. We get one narrative, and it comes through television.
The law. We get scared of the law.
It's not about scared of the law. We just stuck on stupid. You can apply a certain principle in your life every day. That if you know with your children, and you don't have no children, but let me just use this as an example. Your kids is in the room, and they going back and forth, and all of a sudden you got tired of this shit. Let me go in here and settle this shit. What's the problem? Now you know that it's gonna be two stories, and in between those two stories is the truth. Okay, you take that concept out of that situation and put it into religion, don't exist. Put it into television, don't exist. You put it anywhere you want to put it, and it don't exist. But it's a concept you use in your everyday life. So you can't take that concept and put it anywhere else and use it in your everyday life. That's what religion does to you.
That's why.
Because they tell you to have faith.
That reason right there.
Don't question shit.
What you just said is the reason why I stopped going to church. I was not able to put this fucking doctrine in everyday life. I can't look these people up.
It don't apply.
Where is this big ass arc that this motherfucker made?
Turning your cheek.
That shit should be somewhere.
Really? Somebody smack you, you'll turn your cheek. Really?
They have so much faith in them.
Really? Somebody poke you in the eye? You just gonna give them the other one?
Peace be on you.
No, you like that. Peace be on you.
No.
Bleeding.
Chop you in the fucking throat.
Really? When Malcolm came around, Malcolm was like, hit me, I'm hitting you back. Kill me, I'm killing two of y'all. See what I'm saying?
It was a threat.
It wasn't a threat, it was a way of thinking. You don't let these
But I'm saying he was a threat.
He was a threat to the mentality.
Yeah, to that soft shoe shit.
But see, that's why I'm saying he was sent. Remember I told you Malcolm was sent. He was sent to us. Force was greater than what I took. He was sent. Why? Because people did not understand what Elijah Muhammad was saying. Because Elijah Muhammad was not a high school graduate. He only went to the 3rd grade. Mm-hmm. But he was giving niggas prophecies. He had wrote books about prophecies, about shit going on now. Nobody wanted to listen. So they had to have somebody with some charisma and that's well spoken for people to listen. Why? Because mind control. This is what you need to hear it.
Like Obama.
Like Obama, like the news. The newscasters is Obama every day. Well-spoken niggas in suits. This is the same, it's a concept, bro. If you understand the concept of how shit is presented to you, then you'll know that this is all a bunch of bullshit. They all are on the same page. None of them motherfuckers are real. They might have a debate in front of you and then go in the back room and have a drink and laugh that shit off.
Shit like wrestling.
Yeah. It's all like wrestling. It's all like wrestling. Now you see it in a major way because now it's the United States versus Russia and the United States versus China and the United States versus North Korea. This is all by the plan. They done closed the United States off. This motherfucker is over with. They trying to make, Donald Trump's idea is to make the United States the enemy of everyone. Now, again, what I say to you, a question we don't never do it. Why? Why is all that important? What the fuck is going on?
China about to do some shit.
No, it had nothing to do with China.
No.
Got to do with what you say niggas was coming to when we was in the gym. When I was saying, talking about Zion and this one, he was like, hey, somebody about this. I said, well, if they morphing, what are they morphing into? What you say? God, that's the issue right there. That's the whole thing. It's not a physical transformation that we're going through, although we are going through that too. It's the mental transformation that we are all going to go through. This world is over, bro.
This is what we living in right now.
It's over with, bro. It's over with, and they know it because
there's gonna be a whole lot of people built like you.
Let me tell you something, bro. It was
real,
prophecy about the shit that was wrote
and we can looking down
millions of years ago. They got all the information. They just recently started letting that shit out. Yeah, you got it on your phone, but it's limited. There's shit you ain't gonna never find. This shit that exists. Our shit. The fucking Vatican. The Vatican got so much shit that's black. Our shit. Our shit.
Yeah, the Vatican, a motherfucker.
Man, they just showed you in the movies that Tom Hanks was in.
Mm-hmm.
They showed you how hard it was to get into the Vatican vaults. Nigga. And then when you get in there, what to do? You got to get gloves. They showed you the shit. See, we think that shit is made up. No, motherfucker. That's what they do. That's what they showing your ass. These the only ones that don't, we ain't peeping the game. That's the whole thing. We ain't peeping the game. We'll go see these movies. That's just entertainment for us. But the truth is, they tell you what the fuck the deal is. Like that movie Alita. That new movie Alita, where this little bitch gonna turn into a super angel. She telling you what they telling you. This is what motherfucking niggas about to turn into.
Right?
They telling you this is what Nick, man, you gotta take your ass out the side of the house.
Yeah, that's what I'm about. Can I just go out back?
I ain't on the side of the house, bro.
This door right here.
I'm about to go out there in a minute myself.
Well, folks, this has been another episode of Everybody Hates Sleep show. We're gonna do probably gonna do another double dose because these conversations is getting good. We appreciate everybody for listening. We're gonna go out with some of my homeboy.
Roll up.
Young Sam.
Yeah.
I got some shit to rub.
What up, cuz? What up, though, Shug?
Shit, about to smoke.
Y'all want to listen to the beat I got?
Stoners, if you not rapping about weed, you don't want to hear that shit.
Alright, I got some shit for y'all. Watch this.
Terry made.
Since day one, you stole my heart, never gave it back, still chasing that. To me, it's never the same high. You changed a lot, I'm the same guy. I pearl you up, light you up. It's not only me, we both high as fuck. You start to leave, I'm thinking don't go. Glad I got a lot, cause I won't mow. Man, I sweat that I love Mary Jane. Stay with a cold, keep a blunt in the plane. This shit right here, and I got a full grown deer if it get in my lane. Damn, smoking on that backwood, got a nigga feeling like he in the backwoods. Animals better act good, isn't that good? Man, I swear this shit is that good. I don't know if I can pass it. I call it smoke, Miss Casper. Her first name Master. First time I met me and 12 pearl girls, had a young nigga feeling like he was a bachelor. Don't talk when we meet now. 12 Pro goes, welcome to Billy Beat Down. I'm Gene with Mario Hennessy now. We song exclusively for the
I
D-Town.
told y'all niggas, I told y'all. This nigga, I told y'all niggas.
Hey,
ain't
look.
none of that run-on rap shit. Ain't none of that shit, man.
Man, I told you I got the fam, man. F and M, man. Told you in the background, nigga, what up, nigga? I ain't even see you walk in this bitch, nigga.